2 months ago, I ran for hero of the faction only because I got tired of the people that weren't really doing much getting elected. Didn't expect to get it. I was surprised when I did. Elise actually wrote this really long ass article on the forums. Now, we had been doing a lot of stuff already. Altercation, the other guilds in the East Alliance, we were already doing stuff to help the faction. We're showing up, we're protecting the GRs, the CRs, we're doing what we can with what we have. We're contesting. There was also more that we could be doing. So I started basically getting a list of names of people that needed updates. I started taking people to get their Dream Ring progression. I started bringing people along to experience content. The same thing that people keep saying of why they don't show up to defend was being said by pretty much everyone. Now, I've been trying since Naima to kind of organize the faction, and I've been to 4 of these kinds of meetings. One was led by Warrior Poets, one was led, 2 was led by Zoo as an Onslaught. And then we had another mini one when Supremacy joined the server. Each and every single one of them have gone nowhere because there was no follow through. There was no basically getting together and actually making the things that we talk about go through. There is a tool that was designed not too long ago. Some of you already use it. Some of you have heard of it. Some of you may not have heard of it. It is something that I want the East to start using. It is called Discord. It is a program that you can install on your computer. It is very small, works with any operating system, as long as you have Windows 7 or higher, or if you're one of those weird Apple people. It is a program that gives you an overlay over your games, kind of like TeamSpeak's Overwolf. However, it is a chat program. It can either be voice chat or it can be text. You get to choose. It has voice to text as well. So if you're somebody that is shy and doesn't want to talk, but you want audible responses, you can basically have what you say broadcast out to the people that are listening. It can be installed on your computer, it can be installed on your phone so that you are able to be gathered or contacted anywhere. I'm going to have Mr. Rodrigo is going to post a link. This is going to get you guys where you can download it and install it. This is all basically pertinent to if you are into what I'm selling. Okay? And what I'm selling is this. We have a lot of people that don't come to PvP events of their own reasons. They prefer to farm, they prefer to do the things that they want to do, and that is damn fine. However, every one of you has at least one person in your guild, I'm sure, that enjoys coming out, contesting content, doing content. But it's always been coming down to what's in it for me. Everybody's thinking about, I don't want to come out, spend an hour of my time, and end up getting nothing. So some things were discussed by the East Alliance that we're going to kind of bring forward to you guys. On top of making sure that you all get to have your updates for your Dream Ring progression, which is best in slot ring. If you guys aren't starting it, you should get on it. We also are going to be bringing you in on highly contested events. That's like your 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, or around this hour Anthelons, your Glen and Mina, things that the West usually gets because the East Alliance, we're bringing 30 people. They're bringing 50. We need numbers. Where it comes into what's in it for you. Before, Supremacy was more of a, fuck it, we'll do it ourselves, and if we can't do it ourselves, then we just won't do it. Or we'll just troll the other guy until they give up. Loot was for that alliance and that alliance only. It didn't work. It didn't grow allies. So we were talking about a loot system. That loot system basically is not in an FFA. where basically everyone that attends gets an even shot at just rolling for it, because that actually pisses people off. Believe it or not, people don't go to FFA because of the fact that it's always some 2K gear score that barely contributed anything that ends up winning. And they go, well, fuck this, man. If that guy's got as good a chance as me and I'm bringing, 3 times his DPS, it's just not worth it for him. So we're going to push it towards this. Instead of a FFA loot, it is going to be where your guilds,
User joined your channel.
Everyone in your raid, or raids if we have them, is going to roll a dice. The highest roll basically wins it for their guild. Their guild will get the item, and the guild will then decide what to do with that item. Either they can give it to the person that won the roll, or they can sell it, split it amongst themselves. They can do some kind of DKP system, or whatever they would like to do with that item. The more people that your guild brings, the more chance that you guys have of getting that item. That is for fights like Ectheleon. Right now, there are things like the Elf Ghost ships. There are the Red Dragon encounter. All this stuff we can't do without numbers. Now, Yawn did an amazing job leading a few pushes on the Red Dragon, combined with the East Alliance and a lot of pubbies that came from the East. They actually kept the West from getting Red Dragon, and a couple times just trolled the living shit out of them for hours, to the point where Creativeness, which is the leader of the Latinus, actually came and fucked with the GR later because he was so pissed that they had not gotten Red Dragon. The more that we stop them from getting those Red Dragon weapons, the less that when you guys go to do your events, the less that you're in Diamond Shores, that you're not getting hit with a Red Dragon weapon. So there is an incentive there, just stopping the West from getting Ectheleons. If you've gone up against Latinus anytime with your guild lately, you've noticed that they've been running a lot more Mage Ball. That's because they're feeding off of Ectheleon kills. They're gearing up with Ectheleon. Now the East gets a lot of content. We kill a lot. A lot of the raids that are being run right now are being run by our officers. That's Best Friends, Altercation, Ecstasy, and now Eastside. We're the ones that are basically leading those things, and we know how to do most of the content. But we need everybody. So, with the chat program Discord, we can do form-ups without having to spam in faction or in nation. It can be monitored and controlled so that we can kick people that we suspect of not being greens, and we can also maintain somewhat secrecy so that our actions aren't being followed. Right now there's a really silly ass code of when, say, Hanur is up, they go X up for thingy. The Reds are onto that already. Okay, that's not going to work. That's why we need a chat program outside the game. It is a highly reputable program. You can check it out yourself. The link that's going to be provided to each and every one of you will let you install it on either your phones or into your computers. You guys need to talk to your guilds about what you want to do, though. As you saw lately, within the last 3 days alone, when the West is attacking and the East has strength in numbers, we roll them. And at the very least, we give them one hell of a black eye. Halsey yesterday, we completely decimated over twice our number. The Miss Marrow, when we show up, they actually get killed and just rushed. The East, and I can say this without even any kind of exaggeration, the East has the better PvPers on whole. We just lack numbers. Every guild matters, even the small ones, even the ones that want to run the packs. Now I get you guys just want to farm. And there's some people that literally don't want to have a thing to do with PvP. Those are not the people that we're trying to get right now. We're trying to get the guys that like going out and seeing content. We want to see the guys that want to run SERP and just can't get a group. And they're spamming faction for hours and hours and hours. I want to get the guys that aren't able to do things like Ectheleon and need those updates because your guilds only have 5 or 6 people. The whole point of this is literally just follow through. I've been doing my damnedest trying to Make sure that everything is going towards us getting better as a faction. And I don't even give a shit if I lose the election next week. I'm going to continue doing this. This is what I want to do, and this is what I've been trying to do since Naima. I used to run the CRs and the GRs back when that was a big thing. I used to take those CRs and GRs to Hasla and push out the reds so that our guys could get their tier 3 Hasla shit, which was back then the in-game stuff. If you don't believe me, you can ask around. Now, I was a member of Dragon Fury. Yes, that guild was a Green Pirate guild. I really wasn't into the pack taking for the most part, but I did participate. So that was full disclosure for you guys. Every single one of these that I have been to, though, there's always somebody that says something about how purplers are ruining the faction. I said it then and I'll say it now. Altercation right now is not a purple guild at all. If you ever see one of our guys purpling, it better be for a beef. Like, that guy may better have, fucked his wife or something like that. Okay? There will be no pack taking from Altercation. So if you guys ever see that, you can come to me. But the purplers aren't what's destroying the faction. They're not what's making us lose. They're not what's keeping us from doing content. What's doing that is the mindset that people have where they can't get past the personal stuff. That's the literally every time that this kind of conversation's taken place with this faction, it's always devolved into, and I don't want this one to devolve into it. That's why I'm touching on it. We need to be able to look at it more like this. If you have a brother, and that brother is a complete asshole, but somebody else that you don't know, you hate your brother. You don't fucking ever want to talk to him. You don't want to be around him. You hate him and his kids because they're stupid. But if somebody that you don't know comes and attacks your brother, you need to be in that mindset that that's your brother. So you back them. There are people that I have on block because I don't personally like them anymore. But I still come to their defense. And that's something everybody should know about me from what I've done. I have always included people. I have never pushed somebody out. I don't do raid snubs where they're not allowed to come to raids, where I kick them out of my raids. I've tried to be inclusive. And that is what we need to do, and that's the mindset that we need to have. Whatever happens on our
User was moved
turf,
to your channel.
somebody steals your packs, somebody's done something to wrong you, that's fine. Hate them after the point, but when there's reds involved, you better be on their side. Now, I know we've covered a lot. Basically, I would like all of you to go ahead and talk to your guilds, get into Discord, start trying to encourage your people to show up. We will teach you how to do the fights. We will teach you how to do Anthelons, Glens, Minas. We have TeamSpeak covered. We have galleons that are geared to go and do things like Delphinag Go ships. So you don't have to bring anything other than books, pots, and your people. I can promise you fun. I can promise you lots of PvP. And I can promise you content that you guys have not experienced yet. Or if you've wanted to experience, we can definitely try for. But it's going to take every one of you guys pushing it through, okay? Now, does anyone have any questions or anything that they want to say? Please don't let it devolve into that crap about the purpling.
All right, this is Fritz Singer out of Duskfire. I'll be the one to open my mouth. I do have a suggestion, and it's just a suggestion. I have been in countless, just like everybody here, Crimson Rifts raids and Grimgas raids, and there, generally speaking, are plenty of mobs to go around for 2 raids if necessary. But what generally happens is we have one raid fill up, and then there's an argument over which raid is a legitimate raid. If we really want to get everybody involved, it would be a simple matter for one raid to curtail that many that they kill as much as possible to allow for a second raid. We could do it. It might actually increase our numbers at those kind of events and make it less likely that the Reds can come roll us. Just a suggestion.
Well, that can easily be situated by having more officers that are in this room taking over the role of leads for those raids. Once you get full control of your raid, i.e. identifying 1 or 2 people to tag mobs and count, definitely 2 raids can be pushed through. I know the numbers, there's 52 spawns of the 3rd wave. I'm not sure about the 2nd wave, I've never counted that one. But there's plenty of mobs for both raid forces to actually get wave 3 and wave 1. That said, it takes coordination. It takes people being in communication and taking control. A lot of the times those CR raids are Pubby Central, or half of them are alts just getting there for their daily, and the other half are not in TeamSpeak, they're not listening to raid, they're doing whatever else. So usually that's why one raid was always selected, because if somebody pulls, 6 mobs too many, well, then they just screwed the other raid over. Does anyone else have any other questions about like Discord or anything like that?
I've been pushing our members to download it all day just so we can screw around with it and see if everybody likes it. One of the issues that we keep running into is the TTS function. For some reason, a lot of people can't seem to get it to stop coming through their speakers and come through their headset instead. And we haven't been able to figure out how to fix that.
Generally, it's going to be an option under the sound settings. I'm not an expert on it yet. Fear.
Okay, so usually you want to go into your output device and change that setting. Your input will be your microphone and your output will be your headphones or your speakers.
It needs to be the default for the text-to-speech to come through.
Yeah.
Well, we've had people who have it set up so their input is their microphone and their output is their headset, but for some reason it brings the voices in through the headset, but the text-to-speech comes through their speakers.
It needs to be the default in Windows, because the text-to-speech is handled by Windows directly. So
Okay.
you can actually change the voice through Windows because it's just the standard, narrator that's in the operating system.
Okay.
So if they switch their headset to be their default playback device, then it should fix that for them.
And another question that I had, a lot of us use the TeamSpeaks, we use the bookmarks, and we'll have our main one open and we'll just be muted in that one and have the other one that we're currently in open. It appears that in Discord you can only be in one voice chat thing at a time.
That is correct.
Yes.
Okay.
But they're all listed on the left, and you can hop back and forth, and they will get a mark when there's at least the text channels get a mark when there's new content. So.
Okay.
And you can always go back. There's always a history of what's been discussed in Discord, unlike TeamSpeak, where it's cleared every time you open and close the program. So.
Yeah. We're because currently we're using TeamSpeak and WhatsApp on the phones, but we have a lot of people that refuse to get in the WhatsApp because they don't want people to have their cell phones and stuff like that. So we're trying it out to try to get everybody in one place.
The mobile apps are very good for Discord. I've been using it for a while, so that would replace the WhatsApp and the voice all in one shot.
And it would give people their privacy. It's
Yes.
just we're still trying to sell it to everybody because there are people that don't like change, and we've
Speaking
got a couple
of-
of people that are French and they have a very hard time, understanding how to do stuff like this.
And this is something you guys are going to have to talk to your members and convince them it is for the betterment. The East has always, on both Naima and Enla, always been underpopulated. The only thing that we can do better than them is communicate and get together. And this application, like I said, it lets you can put it on your phone while you're at work and, contact your people however you normally would contact them. Or you can know, hey, this is going down. If your trade ship's being attacked or whatnot, you can ping out and try to get some help to save your stuff. The big thing here that I want you guys to take home for incentives, this is what I want you to think about. Anth, generally between 3 and 10k, or 3 and 8k for the drops. Naima, or Mina, looks like she makes about 3,200 per Mina kill. Glenn, upwards of 10k, depending on what drops. You have the Delphinet ghost ships, which currently Stupid Girl is exploiting with his fucking macros, pretending like nobody else notices. Those are 3,000 gold each Delphinet ghost ships. There are 6 per day, 3 every 12 hours. We have the boats, we have the know-how, we just need people to come. Those are split on the spot. Basically what'll happen is one person on the ship will turn in all the packs if available, unless it's some kind of emergency situation. The one person's going to turn in the packs, they take a screenshot and they send everybody their cut after it comes in, because it's a 24-hour wait. Unless you get exactly 30 people and then you just have everybody turn in one, but that's rare. Like I said, we know how to kill all this stuff, guys. We do. There's other things that we're going to need you for. As you saw, the East Alliance got 2 castles. 2 castles from the west in one day. We need people to come to us. We're going to have to defend them. We're going to have to also, with the 2.9,
User disconnected
the
from your
castles become a faction thing. The more powerful your castle, the better you get for buffs and things like that. The fact that these castles give you Lord Coins. Lord Coins are needed for your Tier 7 weapons and armor. The West was planning basically to have a monopoly and charge extremely high prices once they gear out their own players. That's not the case anymore. As I said, priority people are going to be the ones that helped us get the castle, but we are going to make sure that the people that didn't help us get it or help us keep it get those coins at fair prices. There's going to be 2 more castles that come available in 2.9. I'm hoping that we can get a few more guilds, one at least, of the East, a castle. And I will personally join your guild to help you get one if you get the Siege Scroll. So if you guys, any of you, want to buy the Siege Scroll for Latinus or Incendiary, I will personally drop my tag and I will bring every member that I can into your guild to help you get it. I will help you plan the attack, I will help you PvP, and I will help you acquire that. It cost Best Friends in Altercation 30,000 gold to buy all 4 last time. And you definitely better buy both, okay? Because what will happen is Incendiary and Latinus will swap members into one guild, and they will come at you with 100 people. But I'm tired of having to deal with the Zerg and not having, having the ability to fight back on an even playing field. I have seen you guys do amazing things, okay? Today alone showed that we can accomplish quite a bit. You guys just gotta convince your members, have them come out, because it's a completely different game. Once you realize that there's something more than just running packs all day. There's actually other ways to make money in this game.
I have another question pertaining to the use of the Discord.
Mhm.
Are you planning on having like a channel for just the guild leaders and officers? Or
There's already one set up
Yes.
for
That's what I
that.
was gonna ask.
okay, because I wasn't sure if you were like everyone on the east needs to use it, and I was like, yeah, that'd be a little complicated, wouldn't it?
No, he
Yes.
meant it as the guild leaders and officers.
Okay.
General members have a location that they can talk in. That way, that if one of your members is being mugged, that they can call out for help and hopefully get a response. Do not guarantee a response. You guys know how hard it is. If somebody yells out, "My trade ship's being stolen," you generally have 2 minutes to get there before all those packs are loaded out. So please set the expectation that it's not a freaking, it's
Like
not a
Larry-
rape whistle. Okay.
Yeah.
You can ring that bell all you want. Cops and help may be too damn far away. So don't let them, think that, oh, it's just going to be an emergency. I'm going to continue to do what I'm doing stupidly, and if my packs get attacked, I always have backup. That's not the case.
Yeah. Are we going to be getting that link before we leave here today, or is that something that's still like in the making?
Rodrigo is slow. He should have already had it posted. But that said, the other things that you guys can make sure that they know when we are doing content like Antoine or whatnot, books and pots are needed. You cannot come to those events without them. Otherwise, there's a huge time waste of, oh, I need this book or I need this pot, and it's all, Jesus. Oh, those are good beeps. That's you guys joining. Aw. Okay, basically, you have to come booked and potted. You have to come ready for those events because we need everybody there fully dedicated to DPSing it down. The faster you get them killed, the faster you can get out of there and go on to doing something else. Ectheleon is...
User was moved to your channel.
Ectheleon is every 4 hours, at 1800 in-game time every day, okay? Now there's some raids that the East Alliance is basically going to do because there's generally no contestation, so we'll probably just hit it and kill it. But we will be keying you guys in as many raids as we can, and definitely in the afternoon when the East is strongest, which is around this time. This is when you'll most likely will be invited to come to those. But the morning raids, when there's very few people, it's just not worth it. Usually we just roll in with like 10, 15 guys and do it. Delphinite ghost ships, though, I want to see as many people get onto those as we can. I'm tired of stupid girl bragging about his little hacksploits.
I was hardly
And-
paying attention last night about that, but from what I understood, what did they get, like 1 or 2 boats? 1 or 2 Delphinite?
They've been getting a lot. He's got an Inuan with 5 mythic cannons on one side, and then he has his bots basically repair the ship. And they basically sank a
joined
raid
your
boss,
channel.
which is the damn... that's what the Inuan is, the raid boss. They sank a raid boss with only 4 real pet players. And basically he's got a bunch of macroed alts that repair the ship. It's really fucked up, but I actually reported it once and I got banned on the forums because I reported Stupid Girl. That's how much money he has spent on this game. Now I can't prove it, but I do believe that Treon's basically covering his ass because they don't want to lose a whale.
Wow.
He has, if you haven't noticed running your trade ships back and forth, he has 15 alts. These 15 alts all have the $125 fish boat pack. So every one of them has a fish boat out, and they have them spread out across the ocean. So it's like a drag net. So they see any ship that leaves from Haranya to Nuia, and vice versa, all the way up and down the entire coast. You cannot get a ship from the east coast or the west coast without being seen by Stupid Girl's alts. And if you try to get close, he has a log off where we literally have tagged him, gotten damage on him, which should prevent your character from logging off. His character's down to 10% life and instantly logs off. So how he does that, don't know.
You can
Can't
force
prove
close the
anything.
game by just closing it on the task manager. So it's likely that, but still.
Yeah. And then he just waits for you to get away, and then he respawns his boat, pulls it back out. So that's what he does. If you blow up his boat, he just basically consolidates his little drag net so it covers the hole, and they continue to go about their day until the 5 minutes is up where they got the boat back. The West now has Latinus, Incendiary, and Underwater Squad. They have a raid of about 72 at any one time, and on an event like the Siege the other day, they would have had about 120. No, that is not an exaggeration. You have Incendiary with about 51. You have Latinus with confirmed 71. And then you have Underwater Squad, which they're rocking about 20, 25 right now. 150 people at any one time. The West at our best on the East Alliance, and pulling in from the rest of the faction, we brought 71 people. And that's just dealing with 3 guilds. That's what we're fighting against. That is why I am having this meeting today, and that's why we're doing what we're doing now. So I feel like I'm rambling. I know everyone has other things that they want to go do. Does anyone have any other questions or anything else that they want to touch on? Or any thoughts?
I do. I think you should do a write-up on every single world boss, every single event that you want people to attend. I think that you should overlay exactly what you want from the people, and so that the guild leaders can view that. Like, Kraken is close to impossible without voice communication, and I think that should be held in the raids as well. If you can't have voice comms, then you can't be in the raid. Stuff like that I think needs to be covered. As well as, I think that we're ignoring a big money asset as well as a liability. A liability in that we're letting Reds just walk into Free Ditch during Gold Trader times. And if anybody's ever done Gold Trader on Free Ditch, you know that it's an absolute gold mine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
Very
I went there
specific.
today trying to hit them.
we have 0 time slots available. Friends used to cover the morning, and now they don't. And they used to run their entire guild through the morning run. But now Latinus and Incendiary both have both runs, and I think that that's something that we need to work on. Maybe not running packs the first couple times that we go and hit it, but we go and we take everything that we possibly can from them, because they're so lack on what they bring there now, because it's just wide open for them, and
Yeah.
they're making all of that money. So
They
That
own most of
is,
the
you know,
continent as well.
Definitely, yeah. They just train run in trade ships. I know. We went there today. There was 5 of us, and we kept blowing up their haulers and got only 4 of their packs. But hey, 4 packs. But we were blowing up chain haulers after hauler after hauler until I
User
got forced
joined your
disconnected.
channel.
There is one thing that you touched on, though, that I want to be clear on, okay? Between Altercation and Best Friends, we have probably sank, what would you say, Maria? Close to probably 400,000 gold combined into our Navy? Somewhere up there, okay? To get the ships that we do Kraken. Right now, we pretty much do it. We have been the only 2 guilds that have killed it since Supremacy left the server. That's how we're making the money to outfit our boats. I would love to get to the point where we're spreading that out to where we're including it, but right now Kraken is completely off the table, and I know that it's going to be kind of a sore subject. I know that people are going to be like, well, that's fucked up. Please understand this. It is a huge gold sink to build up a boat. Huge. And we built up, between the 2 of us, we have about 10 galleons right now that we have built up so that we can do that at any time. We also have people that spend, Kasara spent about 14 hours just camping that mob. And any time that the Reds came out, we came and wiped them, because it is such a trollable and easy to kill, or easy to fuck with mob. Now, I will definitely bring people in to kill Kraken, and I do not mind sharing tentacles. But we also cannot broadcast the timer for it, nor can we broadcast when we're killing it. the way that I've been getting people updates is I've literally have the list. I go down the list. I send them a whisper. I give them 2-3 minutes to respond back. If they respond back, I say, hey, come to Solus. They get in the raid. I take them out there. They get a share of the Kraken tentacle money and their update. But that is the amount of secrecy that I have to have with this mob to get it killed and keep it in the east. Now, I definitely can talk to you guys about like discounting Kraken loot. If you're looking for something like a Kraken shield or something like that, we can talk about that. But right now, the Kraken is not part of what I'm talking about right now. So I just want to be perfectly clear on that. Everything else, though, Ectheleons, Mina, Glens, the Delphinat ghost ships, all that is still on the table. And I know that it's, I just hope that you guys understand exactly what I'm saying there. I'm not trying to be Loki 2.0 at all with that one. That's literally just a financial, we need to recoup that loss.
What if another guild wants to attempt Kraken on their own?
You're saying that like another guild can?
Yeah, what if like 3 guilds want to attempt Kraken?
Good luck.
Well,
That's what all I'm gonna say.
Well, it's not about saying good luck or anything. It is possible that there are a few other guilds that probably might want to attempt it on their own. I mean, as long as you have the Galleon people.
First come, first serve, really.
Exactly.
I don't think they really care about the gold. It's more about the weapons. And I don't think it's a bad idea to outfit all the other guilds with Kraken weapons, especially if we're working together on bosses.
I don't mind outfitting you guys, but it is about the gold right now.
You didn't hear what I just said. People don't care about the tentacles or the gold. They more care about the weapons.
That's what I'm saying. The weapons are what we're needing. That's what makes the money. The tentacles I just split with whoever comes.
So you're selling them to Westerners?
No, we could sell it off to you
auction
guys,
house?
but we're not giving.
We honestly
is
haven't.
what he said.
To be honest, we haven't sold a single item right now. We're still outfitting the people in our guilds with those. I've got 2 people that need shields. I've got 3 people that need spears. The gliders we pretty much have been given to whoever's on a Delphinat ghost ship team, because you need the glider to get to the banshees on the bottom. So we've been trying to outfit people so that we can do the content.
Yes, but this is where the other guilds are coming in with is, what if their guild wants to attempt it themselves, is what it is. And they don't care about the tentacles or anything, and they just care about the weapon. It's not just because you guys have to gear your members, they need to gear theirs as well, is what we're trying to bring up. Or at least that's my understanding. Is that it, Quinn?
So let me get at this. I'm
Essentially.
saying that I'm going to help you guys get access to items, weapons, money, drops, content, Red Dragon, that we're going to basically fund, promote, assist, coordinate, and educate.
Look at fear makers.
And we are focused right now on the one mob that basically I said that we'd like to keep for ourselves. Instead, I could say that we won't do any of this, and we can go back to doing absolutely nothing together, and then nobody gets anything.
I would like to point out, remember when Loki came to us and told us that we weren't allowed to do Kraken? Remember how you reacted to that? Remember how much you hated it? You say you don't want to be Loki 2.0, but you're doing exactly what he did to us. Just remember how unfair it was.
I said exactly
and how
to
upset
Loki.
you were over it.
No, I said to Loki, I said I understood them keeping the Kraken. I said one day though that I wanted to get in on it. But that was the Delph Ghost ships is what you're talking about. I never said anything about the Kraken. Kraken was their baby. I even said to Maria that it was theirs.
That's not true. But
Can you say something? What we could do is when we don't need
Yeah,
the
that
weapon.
is true because I was in the guild. Bottom line, we're trying to get people to participate. Stop focusing so much on one mob. You want to come to Red Dragon, do Ant and all this other stuff with that? You can. You don't want to? You don't have to.
What we can do is, whenever we don't need the weapon, instead of selling it on the AH, we can contact all of you personally
At discounted
and,
rates.
and offer
For
it.
sure. If we're looking to sell it, we're not going to sell it towards the west. We'd rather give it to you guys.
To be more
my
pro-east, at
question
least.
is why is it so relevant? Like, why is this one weapon, like, compared to an Anthlon piece, why is it so relevant to you guys? It doesn't make sense to me.
The spear has a proc that is like 3 lassos. Okay, we've been outfitting our frontliners so that they can pull enemy frontliners into our ball, and that kills 3 people off their line with 1. The shield basically goes to a healer. That healer can stealth out of combat, get res. It also has an AoE slow and attack speed reduction. So it's really good if healer's getting in the middle of a mage ball or getting. It helps because it forces them to drop the target. So these have clickies are what are so relevant of these items, and that's what we're farming Kraken for. That's why we've invested the time and the money in getting it into our rotation.
I'm asking any guild to help with Kraken, stop being so focused on that.
To be honest, that the question's kind of broadsiding me or blindsiding. I'm literally coming out here saying, "Hey, we need to work together," and I'm giving up tons of money, tons of things. I'm going to teach you guys how to do everything. I'm going to help get you castles and everything. We're focused on, well, what if we want the Kraken?
I didn't say what if we want the Kraken. I said what if a guild wants to attempt Kraken themselves. Killing the Kraken is a pretty big guild feat in its own. And the only response I got was good luck.
That's not a bad
that wasn't
thing.
my response.
In other servers, everybody contests for it. So
yeah, if you guys want to come and contest for Kraken, and you can tell me flat out that you're not going to get upset if we come and contest back, then come do what you got to do. Okay. I mean, we'll definitely, I can say that I wouldn't be butthurt if you guys come out and contest us. I would say though that right now I'm trying to build something. Help me build. I mean, the Red Dragon has the most expensive items in the game. The only way that we're going to get Red Dragon is everybody.
The bigger picture behind all of this is contesting them on all fronts. It's not about items or money right now.
Yeah.
In a sense, it kind of is because we need the gear, but at the same time, we do need to push together. Is why Ectheleon is doing this.
Have personal vendettas come afterwards, but for right now, we need to contest the West.
No, I don't think it's a personal vendetta. I get their point. I completely get it. They want to
say, like,
experience a content and kill with their.
I mean, I kind of see both sides of it. I'm obviously like for people that need the weapons or want to sell the weapons, it's a big money maker, as are the tentacles. But in my opinion, like you said, the Red Dragon does drop the most expensive things, and you're giving us a shot at getting those. So for now, that seems decent, in my opinion. I mean, it's going to come to a point where you guys aren't going to need the Kraken stuff forever. Could it be possible that eventually down the road?
Well, then again, and there's also
Financially, the drops that are the best are actually the ghost ships, because there is 6 of them a day at 3,000 each. That is 18,000 gold. That trumps anything that you get from Kraken. And the Kraken is once every few days. Okay.
What do the Kraken weapons normally go for?
The spear is 2,500 gold. The shield, 9 to 10k. The scepter, about 2,500. There's a shitty necklace that it drops sometimes for about 1,000 to 500.
Okay, and so you're saying that on all the other stuff other than Kraken, that all the guilds are going to get a chance at rolling on all the other gear, right? And you're saying that some of this stuff goes for between like 2k to 9k and all different ranges. So what's this? So for everybody that's complaining about not getting the Kraken weapons and stuff like that, We're getting all these chances at all this other gear. You can sell that piece and turn around and go, yo, that spear that dropped on Kraken last time, let me buy that off you. How hard is that?
Yeah, I'm in Ecstasy, and we've been working with these guys for a while on this. It's split fairly, and it's split well, and we've made substantial amount of money off of this. So letting them keep Kraken isn't really that big of a deal, honestly. Because
No, but it's not about letting them keep it. It's just there are guilds that actually do want to do it as well. Is what we're talking about.
If you want to come and get the kill as like a guild achievement, so you can take pictures or whatnot, I would definitely be down to coming out, and I'll even teach you guys how to do it. But if you're talking about coming out every time that it's up and taking it from us, I mean, that's just, to me, that's kind of wrong. I'm trying to help the whole faction, and that's what I'm saying, is we're just keeping one thing to ourselves so that we can outfit our guys. Because I'll be quite honest, and this is not an... Who are the frontliners at almost all the PvP in games? What guild? You got Ecstasy, you've got Altercation, you got Best Friends, and you got East. Those are the frontliners at almost every PvP group. They're the ones that are running the...
You're cutting out a lot.
Yeah, you're cutting out a bit.
User disconnected from your channel.
You upset him.
He's gonna restart his TeamSpeak.
Out of curiosity, well, there's a moment. Isn't Kraken... I heard that Kraken was going to be changing one of the next updates, that it'll be on a spawn like Red Dragon is anyways.
Yeah, it'll be wandering around.
And it'll be moving again
User
too.
joined your channel.
Yeah, so I mean, realistically, it's not going to be the same as having a spawn timer on lockdown. It's going to be a known event that the Reds are going to probably show up in mass.
Exactly.
No,
It will become like Red Dragon. Yeah.
And just like we did with Ectheleon, we didn't bring Ecstasy or Eastside until we were like set with that stuff too. So we didn't keep it forever. So you will eventually be able to get Kraken stuff easily.
Wait,
Just
so
gotta make some-
wait. Let me ask. When it becomes contested, are you going to ask for our help then? Is that
They
what's going
do.
to happen?
If it comes to that point, yes.
Yeah, you will. I know you will. Like, it's ridiculous.
At
That's
that
the
point,
thing. You don't want to let other people in on it, but when you're contested, you want people to come out, and that's where
No,
the unfairness comes
exactly.
We're
And
not
the
forcing
thing is,
anyone to come out. If you want to come out, you can. As simple as that.
What we have
You guys making a
done
big deal
when
about it.
we've needed, when
it's
it's
not
been
about
heavily
Kraken.
contested.
It's about
Okay,
the
okay. Can we
principle.
just have one person at a time, please?
Hold up. What we have done, every time that we have needed, which has been very few times, that we've actually called on anyone to come help us. The people that have come out have actually gotten their share of the tentacle split. They've gotten a considerable amount of money coming out to help. I will also say that when we've asked to help, the number that have actually come out to help us has been very low. We contest Kraken with low numbers. Successfully, we can reset the Kraken with 2-3 people. The only time that we've really asked the Alliance to come out is when the West was showing up with like 50 people or whatnot. And it was more stop the West from getting it at that point. But if you want to add this up, let's
User
do
joined your
basic
channel.
math. Delphinet Ghost Ships, 18k. Anthelons, you're looking at 30 to 40k a day. Mina and Glen, 30 to 40k combined. Kraken, if you take its average drop rate, you're looking at 6,000 gold. Average. That's every 2 days.
It's not about how much gold it's worth. It's about what
Those
the
numbers
weapons
are way
do.
off too, but whatever.
Personally, I think the weapons
They're
are
not way
outdated,
off
in my
at all.
opinion, because you have such a high chance of blowing them up, and I mean they're sub T5 quality. So my
Yeah,
personal
been trying
opinion
to
is that
upgrade
the
'em.
weapon
They
is
do blow up.
outdated.
Who's breathing in their mic? Oh my god. Please stop.
And I mean, the necklace that drops from there, I think that thing is like just a worthless token, honestly, just to say you have it.
Am I the only one that hears that breathing?
I think it's just
so.
you.
I don't hear
I think
anything.
it's you, buddy. I think it might be your
paying
breathing.
Yeah, it might be yours because I'm watching this TS and I
Oh,
don't see
no, it's
anybody's thing
No,
lighting
it's
up.
the Discord.
Oh.
Somebody on Discord
Oh.
has their sensitivity down.
Like, because we're already adding you in on Ectheleon and DGS and stuff, so you're already gaining from
User
helping
disconnected from your channel.
helping yourselves out. So there's no real loss from not doing Kraken with us.
Yeah, just by doing the
User joined
Anthelon,
your
the Mina,
channel.
and the Glen, about once a week, we make, myself personally, make about 1,000 extra gold a week. So, I mean, like, you make a lot of money off that, and that's split between all the people that attend the events for Ecstasy.
Well, regardless, I do appreciate the fact that a plan was offered. The communication system, the way we can organize ourselves, that unto itself is a major upgrade from where we are right now. So, if nothing else, I'm taking that out of this meeting for sure. And I really, really appreciate the opportunity. I mean, just the chance to talk about it and get a little bit better as a faction, because that matters to me. So I appreciate that.
Okay. I'm a little confused, so I want to hear it clearly. The issue is being called in to help and then not being put on mute. Is that the issue?
User disconnected from your channel.
Did you guys hear me?
Can you restate that?
I heard you.
I said I was confused what the issue was. Is the issue being called in to help and then not being included on mute? Is that the issue?
The issue originally, if you're talking about Kraken, was that smaller guilds would like to attempt Kraken for whatever the reason is, for weapons, for tentacles, whatever the reason is. And they were asking simply if that was allowed inside of this faction alliance deal. And then that caused controversy.
And I think some did. Some were wondering about the loot as well.
Yes.
Like, not the tentacles, but the weapon itself.
Yeah, the
is what
weapons,
some people
you're right
wanted.
about the weapons not being that great, especially when they're a higher obsidian. But there are people, I'm thinking more of like the smaller guilds where their people maybe aren't as geared out as the big guilds. It's actually a really good upgrade for them, and it brings a lot more DPS, which would then bring bosses down quicker and that sort of thing. So you're right, they're not the greatest weapons. They get outclassed eventually. But for some of the smaller guilds and some of the people that want to start doing it but are pulled back because of their gear,
Are you hang on a second? Are you suggesting right now that we give Kraken spears, which are one of the best initiating weapons, that's used solely for a clicky, to people that have shit weapons just to get them a higher DPS weapon?
Okay, can I ask something?
Sure.
Alright, so I hear that there's a weapon that drops that's great for initiating. Then I hear that there's a weapon that drops that's great for healers, so you can stealth out and you can res and you can do stuff. But then the only people who can roll on it is you guys, like of this main group, which I don't care about those weapons. I do my own style. But there are people who come to your raids. Like, if you can't do it, you're asking these people to come help you, and then you're not going to let them roll on it. But those same people could actually use those weapons to clutch heal and pull off a res that you need and initiate and do all of these things, but you're not letting them have the opportunity. And I think that's the problem. You're calling them in because you need help, but then you're not giving them the opportunity for the help in which you required from them.
Altercation has never really called anybody that I've seen.
Oh, that is such a lie.
They have.
Nope.
Well,
They actually
that's
have.
why that's why
for the
we're
Kraken
including
stuff.
those small
No, no, no,
guilds
they have.
into Anthelon and stuff, so that they can get like Ant set. That's a very good set. It's better than all the Kraken weapons. So that's why we're including them on
It
that.
is, but
and if they
but
want to
think of
sell
this.
that to like help to get a Kraken spear of their own, they can do that. So
Okay,
like
then why
we're
don't you sell Anthlon pieces to get a Kraken spear of your guys' own, and then include everybody in the Kraken?
User disconnected from your channel.
Like that's the thing that doesn't make sense to me is that you have no, you're getting these weapons and you're.
Okay, hold up. I gotta say this, and I'm gonna say this literally because this is really upsetting me right now. We have put 400,000 gold into getting galleons to the point where we can do that, and we did that solely for that purpose. My guild has invested every dime that we have gotten from our proceeds from doing these raids and contesting the raids into getting that goal. And now you're telling me after we have gotten to that point where we can do it, and we've had this on farm where we have dedicated hours and hours and hours and weeks, that because I'm requesting one mob be kept off the table, that you're upset at me trying to pull the alliance and the faction together to push out the reds at other things that are more valuable, more needed to keep out of red hands, to keep from getting the ant set, from them getting the red dragon set, from them getting all this stuff. I'm trying to organize that, and we're focused on one mob that drops things that we're literally saying, hey, we'll cut the damn price for you if you win Anthelon gear and you sell it and you give us something back so that we can recoup the money that we've invested in the boats.
Yeah, but
that you
Nobody's
guys are
looking at the
arguing
bigger
about that.
fucking picture.
No,
The
There's
big
but at
also
the same time,
people
it's
that
the
are-
the breads are getting stronger. They have more numbers. If you guys want a fucking Kraken spear, I will sell you a Kraken spear super damn cheap. I will make sure that your guilds are outfitted, but I can't just give them away, and I can't give away the one thing that we've been basically pouring money into to get to the point where we have. I have people that literally sit on that mob for 24 hours.
I think what people are getting stuck on is that they're thinking that they're going to be asked to be called into Kraken to help defend
Nobody's
us getting
gonna
it.
call you guys for Kraken. We don't need defense for Kraken anymore. We have that shit on lock.
Yes, but at the same time, Ectheleon, you also have to remember, it's not just you guys who's been working on Galleon. There's a lot of these guys who's also been working to every dime, everything, as well. I know where you're coming
Then they
from.
should show up to Delphinot
thing
Ghost
is-
Ships versus
Please
the
let
same
her
two
finish.
Matcha? Please hush for a second. Let me finish, okay? I know you guys been working on your ships. You guys been working on this just so you guys could get it. But other guilds are also gearing galleys. There's some guilds that they are too. And what these guys are just saying is that, you know, let's just say they get called for help. In case, you know, in future, it's not about now or nothing. It's just in future. If they ever do, then what's going to happen with the loots is what they're saying. That's all they're just asking.
The same thing that's always happened. We have called for help twice or 3 times at most. And the 3 or 4 people that have showed up to help have all gotten a cut of the money. I have always split that. I even give a cut of the money that people that come that need it for an update. I have a list of 23 people, and to date I've probably gotten about 20 people their Kraken update for the Dream Ring progression. And those people that came out all got paid. Every one of them got dimes. Even if the drop was that shitty necklace that only goes for 500 gold, they still got a cut. The exact same cut that I got. I am very fair with this stuff. You guys should know this. I am very fair with loot. I have never, ever, ever cheated anyone. I have made sure that everyone has had accurate numbers. Mitchie has a list of every income and outcome that we've had in our guild, and it is never run better. You all know that the people that have come to help Kraken, when we brought you guys over for your updates, you all got Kraken money.
Hell, I just came to help with the packs one time and still got money, didn't even ask for it.
That is true. I've also called out people to secure. Most of the time that we've asked for help, it's for people just to hold on a pack so that the fucking pirates don't roll up and steal it. And the people that showed up and helped us hold packs after we've already killed the mob, they got a cut, and all they did was 3 minutes of carrying a tentacle on their back. I don't know
Even
how
when
much
we-
more fair I can be than that.
And like we said, we're not going to keep Kraken forever, just like we did with Anthelon. Now that we don't really need the set as much and we're just selling it, we're going to offer that to other guilds, to the whole East. They want to join in on it.
We don't need Anthelon gear anymore. There's not a single person in my guild that wants any of those drops anymore. Hence why Anthelon is now going to be something that I want to key in the faction on.
User was moved out of your
If it ever
channel.
gets to the
User
point
was
where I don't
moved
need
out of your
Kraken
channel.
anymore, or it's just a burden, fuck yeah, I'd take it. Hell, keep it before I'm getting the West. Right now, the only thing that I want Kraken for is because I have a huge deficit of money that has been borrowed and spent on upgrading galleons. They were built to take out Kraken. The weapons that we chose for it, the armaments, the figureheads, all were selected for Kraken. Now, if you guys want to do it for your guilds, if you want to come and throw down on Kraken, then do it. If you can take it, take it.
None of that.
But what I'm offering here...
We have people that have spent over 15 hours watching it, me personally. Like, multiple people that have spent hours watching it just to keep it from the Reds. So...
It is a mob that literally 3 people can ruin. I mean, hell, we've had it reset on us by one guy. One guy on a fucking harpoon clipper. Drove by, shot the fucking thing with an arrow, and drove off. And it reset the Kraken. That is why you have to sit there and wait for everybody to get so bored that they just leave. When that mob turns into Red Dragon 2.0, it's a 24-hour period from the time that it spawns to the time that it dies, and I guarantee you, I can guarantee you that we'll have somebody sitting there that entire 24 hours, following that fucking mob around, until we get a point where we can take it. Look, the way that it stands right now, your guilds aren't getting Anthelons, your guilds aren't getting Glens or Minos, your guilds aren't getting Kraken, your guilds aren't getting Red Dragon, you're not getting Delphinat Ghost Ships. What I'm saying is I can put all that stuff on the table for you guys. Everything would be in your pocket. I can teach you how to do it. I can help you kill it. And any Kraken item that we do get, if you guys have need of it or want it, I'll cut a huge ass deal. Sell it to you a lot less than what I'd sell it to the Westies for. And that's the only mob that I'm actually saying that on. I'm not saying, hey, Red Dragon drops go to Altercation. That's what Supremacy would have done.
Yeah, and that was the point I was trying to make earlier. Is like we're getting all the chance to roll on all the other drops. Nothing's stopping you guys from, if you get a drop from like Red Dragon, sell it and turn around and be like, yo, I want that Kraken spear that we got when you guys did it the other day.
Or 3 with the deal you're going to get on it.
Right?
Yeah. Red Dragon, 30k, somewhere around there.
I mean, if we get
Guys.
other people farming like Delph Ghost ships and stuff like that, we'll have the money to buy things from you guys.
Yes.
And like you
Then
said,
you'll
the
have the
reason
money to
why
go
we're
around.
getting in on Anthelon is because you guys don't need anything anymore. I would think that eventually your debts are going to be paid to a point where you guys may possibly not need the Kraken every single time. I mean, not anytime soon.
To be honest, what would
but...
most likely happen is people are just burnt out on camping it, and we're like, hey, if you guys want it, fucking camp it. Look, from people that know me, I try to be fair. I am not perfect. I do make mistakes, but I also learn from them. I'm not saying this is going to be a, Let's walk on fucking flower petals to the promised land kind of thing.
Roses? What?
Lavender?
This is... The truth is we're up against 3 times our numbers. 4 times if you include their entire faction that comes out. Once we start contesting this shit, they're gonna fight back. Latinus right now has a grudge against their faction. They talk down to them and they dog them. Once we start beating their ass at Red Dragon and taking it from them, or at least keeping them from getting it, they're gonna go back on their shit talking and they're gonna try to recruit people from the faction to come out. There's a reason why when we're contesting them, they don't pull from the faction very often anymore.
I've heard from a few friends that there's already a huge morality drop over there. That's the reason that
Yeah.
we keep kicking their butts.
Jan did a hell of a job. He pulled over a couple raids, and it actually created off to the point where he was bitching about it. And he actually came out and tried to attack the GR and got shit on. I want you guys to take this out of there. Take everything that you've learned from this, okay? Don't focus on the Kraken shit so much. I get a point that you guys are trying to make, and I understand it. I'm trying to be sympathetic to it. I see it from a different perspective. It doesn't mean that I'm blind to yours. But please try to look at the rest of what I'm talking about here. You've got dedicated officers. You've got experienced PvPers. You've got geared players. What we need is more people. If we get to the point as a faction where you all can fight and we can fucking get to that point where we're literally at each other trying to kill mobs instead of killing reds, I'd actually be happy with that, because that means we're finally to where we don't have to worry about the reds everything.
If you joined the Discord and you're an officer, can you please, officer leader, can you please type in the chat, Discord chat?
Oh god, turn off my notifications. Shit.
I was about to say you might want to turn off your notification.
Currently the guild leader, officer isn't working in my plugins, so I have to go over that tonight, but I'll get those out.
Can I ask what the hell is a boobot?
Boobot is the bot that we use for just normal roles and stuff, but I use my own custom bots for setting them up more in depth, so you have more commands and stuff.
I don't think I'm able to view this text channel. That's your.
You will be able to.
Alright, Nakora, sorry I didn't see what you said until then. Go ahead and head on out, man. You have a good night. That said, is there anything else that anybody wants to say? Anything else? Any suggestions on what we can do?
Do you have anybody that's actively working towards getting like the Ionite earring up? Because we have a few people that are trying, and we're getting stuck. Like I'm personally stuck on like I need 6 more of those stupid blue print things.
Yeah, I usually do a raid after CR first day.
I know Ecstasy is actively trying to get as many people up on there, so talk to Jan or Ryuju.
Hey, I have the earring. That's rude.
Or that one.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm on the spreadsheet that not too made. I noticed that a lot
Right.
of those things, like, people aren't updating them, so
Yeah.
I'm not really
So
sure like who's active.
Yeah, for multiple weeks we had groups working on it actively, and then I'm personally studying, so I've been out a lot. Finals for everyone else that was studying, so it got very underproductive. I think Radu is also not really playing the game as much, and he was the main coordinator for it. Earlier today we had some people
User
running
joined your channel.
the golem on the 3rd floor to get the aquamarines, which go towards your unique. So we've got a group that do work on it. I haven't done that. Yawn hates me and won't farm the library with me anymore, so.
I think
they could
I'm-
also talk to Subros about it.
Yeah.
Okay. I know. I think I went to one of the raids. I don't remember who was hosting it, but
That was in Radu.
I didn't know he wasn't on that day. We actually just pulled him in to Digital Nomads a couple days ago. Whoever was hosting it wasn't the Mana Prince weren't. Whoever was hosting it with the Mana Prince weren't free loot, so we've been trying to figure out like how, because we've got a lot of people that need those blue Mana
Right,
Prince.
so how it worked was the Mana Prince got pushed onto the person that was closest to completing first to push
Mhm.
people through it. So you had people that were, say like me, who were really close to getting our unique, we got pushed through it. And then people underneath get pushed into it. So it was basically just done on a rotation, and that's why the spreadsheet's there, so you can see who's got the most tokens, and that sort of thing, because the tokens are what shafts you the most, because they're only, 3 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of how it was working and why it wasn't free roll.
Yeah, I understood that. I'm just trying to. I mean, I have a hard time getting up into the library because we're always doing something and everybody needs something all the time. But we do have a couple of people, including myself, that are like the only thing holding me back from my heroic one is those stupid blue things. Like that's it. And it's really annoying. I'm just like, come on, guys, let's go do corner reading room, and they're like, no. And I'm like, okay, well, whatever.
There are reds also doing the bosses now, so
Mhm.
it gets harder.
I know. I had some red run up to me the other day because I had just made like a Naya crystal or something. And they're like, "Can I buy that?" And I was like, "No, go away, please."
If you're a hero, can you also type in the Discord chat so I can give you the hero?
What if you're both?
Then you'll get both roles.
You should get a special snowflake tag.
I want that. You're making
I
that.
want it. Fight me.
No.
Make it so.
User disconnected from your channel.
Can you turn off notifications on one channel but not the other for Discord?
I think so. I can't remember how I did it.
Okay.
Pretty open source, and they have their own little help desk. If there is a breaking issue with it, you can always.
I know one of our big things is like I used to use TeamSpeak on my phone, and my phone would have a different name than my regular one, so people would know when I was on my phone, and it doesn't do that on Discord. So you have to like specify, be like, I am on my cellular device.
What I've heard, they're pretty good on tech, so that may be an option that I'll implement. That.
Yeah. Discord is great. It's got, if you don't have the app, you can use your browser. There's a really amazing phone app, and it's pretty good on the computer too. Sometimes the voice chat is a little glitchy, although I don't think we'll be using it all that often on Discord. We'll probably all pile into here. It will disconnect you and just gotta reconnect and hope it stabilizes itself.
Also, to cut down on people talking, you have to use push to talk for it. If you don't, then you just can't talk.
Yeah, that was the very first thing when I downloaded it. I was like, please, for the love of God, let there be a forced push talk button, please.
And also, officers, heroes, and leaders will be able to mute members, no matter what guild.
Harrow.
There's also a music bot, which you could play whatever music you want using the song requests tab.
Please do not spam it. Please.
Also, we're anti-weeaboos, so if I see any type of...
Then why the fuck are you in there, Fair?
I'm not a weeaboo. If I see any weeaboo-related stuff...
You are a weeaboo, you fucker.
We have a girl who is French Canadian, and she was. We were messing with her with the TTS earlier because apparently the accent that was coming through her speakers had this like really thick French accent, and one of our people like typed in this really long sentence in Japanese, and she's like, "What the fuck is that?" Like she's like, "It's screaming at me."
If you want to use TTS, you're gonna have to message me personally.
Oh no, I'm sure we'll only use it in ours.
Yep.
We were just having a lot of fun fucking with her.
Leaders,
TTS
officers,
amazing.
and heroes will be able to use TTS, but not normal members, since we don't want people to spam it. Also, certain text channels will be able to TTS.
Yeah,
in the
like
future.
I've had to be all tabbed out of the game this whole time because everybody's like, it's like message received, message received. I'm like, God damn it! I'm just gonna sit here and stare at it.
If you also need help with commands, message me as well. It's you can't send direct messages unless you have a person added as well to help with privacy.
User disconnected from your channel.
So you have to add the person first, and they have to accept you in order to send them private messages.
Oh, interesting. Because I was messaging Myth before he was added on my friends list.
You were?
Yeah, I don't know
User
how.
joined your channel.
That's how it's always worked for me anyway.
The friends list is new.
Actually, he
so-
still doesn't. We're still not on friends list, but because I needed to get him into ours because he's one of our members, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And he was like, "Oh, sorry." So.
It might be because of the role, since the plugins I use are custom made.
Mhm.
They mess with the new friends list. I mean, the friends list was just added, so they mess with a lot of the commands with it. So I'll work on it.
Are there any plugins to one of the features that I really like on TeamSpeak is it tells me when somebody comes into the channel. Like it actually announces the person's name, and sometimes it really screws them up.
The only thing we have is the announcement, but it's in text. So if I wanted to use TTS whenever someone joins your channel, it'll basically everyone in every other channel will be able to hear it. So it'll be really buggy.
Well, I was talking about like, is there something that I could get for ours possibly, like on our own personal channel?
Maybe. I know Discord has a lot of bots,
Okay.
but I don't trust them most of the time.
Okay, we're still just playing around with it.
Yeah, and it's pretty open source, so it should be relatively simple.
Here.
Okay, so I missed a lot. What happened?
No, I'm not a fucking hero. Of course not for you.
Is anyone in here?
Yep, what's a mule and
Nope, we all left.
Okay.
Hello, Milim.
Did anyone record this meeting?
Nope. Raiju, are you an officer or a leader?
I'm the leader. Well, Red Dragon and I are leader of Ecstasy.
Me, Satwat. I somewhat enjoyed this meeting.
does my eat my salvage or inventory?
How was Red Dragon discussed? I missed the Red Dragon conversation.
It didn't really get mentioned.
I mean, I'd like a little bit more clarity on like how are we contesting like every single red dragon, or are you guys going to be focusing more on the Wednesday one than the Saturday one? Because
I don't know what people talked about, but I know Saturday is when Latinus, Incendiary, and Underwater Squad get a huge chunk of players. So my goal for this whole Red Dragon idea was to focus down Wednesdays to the point where the Reds aren't getting it anymore. And then contesting Saturday as well. And then I'm gonna talk with Creativeness because I'm on good terms with him. So, and let him know like we'll stop contesting you on Saturday if you give us Wednesday.
okay, because we have a like a guild calendar, and we're trying to figure out like if we need to clear both Wednesday and Saturday, or
Yeah, so it just depends on if Saturday or Wednesday is better for everyone else.
Jan, have we even contested any other dragons since the one I led then?
Nope, that's been the only one.
Right.
I was doing finals that week though, week after.
I'm completely busy with work, so I can't even be there.
Yeah, I think it's only been you and me ever doing contesting raids. But that meeting that we had was just to get people up to speed on Red Dragon rings, or the Dragon Ward rings, so hopefully people have those now.
No, I saw a lot of people from last time. We know for sure we can stop them from getting it. It's the fact that if we can get it. That's all it is at this point.
Dragon Ward ring is what you use so the red dragon doesn't one-shot you.
They're trolling you.
Oh, okay.
Fuck you, Aradil. Oh, okay, you're serious, right? So
I'm still here.
there's a bench in the zone where you can make it, and it requires like a starlight essence and some other things. Well, it's not really. I guess it is kind of PvE. You don't want to die to a dragon.
It's 5 red dragon skills
really
and 1
need it.
starlight arcane essence.
Yeah, so it's
probably about like 50
not
to
cheap.
100 gold to make.
Anyways, does anyone else have anything else that they want to talk about in regards to the alliance? Go ahead, Elise.
So I'm not saying this applies to us or doesn't or whatever. It's just I like to know everything and everything. You can tell by my forum posts. But like, what if there's a guild or a set of people that don't really, they love the faction, but they don't really want to buy what you're selling, as you said in the beginning. They've looked at your Mary Kay products and they've said, you ain't really got any shades that I like. What happens
you guys don't carry
then?
my skin color.
Why you
Whoa.
Well, if they choose not to basically partake of the offer, they do not have to come to them. It's not like it's going to be frozen out of, oh, they're not going to get to go to GRs or CRs. No, I'm not saying that. Just don't join. Don't go to the Discord. Don't listen to the calls. Don't come to the events. And, continue doing what you want to do. If in the future your guild or yourself changes your mind and you want to be included, the door's open. This is not going to be something that's going to be, decluded of any guild. There's only a few guilds that basically will not be invited. One of those guilds is, both of those guilds are basically the Care Bear farmers that don't even speak English. One's the EU Apex Farming Company, and I don't think anyone's going to mind if they don't get to come, because they don't do anything but run packs. And the other one is that other pack train,
Van Dong or whatever it is. I hate those guys so much.
I'm asking that they want to come help, but they don't agree with everything. Like Jan had said that he's going to talk to creativeness. So on Wednesdays, there's Red Dragon. On Saturdays, that we won't contest them. If there are members who say, listen, I want to fight the West, I want to fight, I want to help, but I don't agree with that. And you're going to say, well, you don't really have to go to that. You just don't. But what if they feel like it's part of a big group, an alliance, that they want to be a part of, that just is not like a thing. What happens to those people? Like, do they get to put their voice in it, and does everybody chat about it and everyone decides? Or is it just everyone is equal, but some are more equal than others, and we've decided this, and the rest of you just either fall in line or get the hell out my face?
Wait,
Keep
so
walking.
is your question
Basically, what
then?
you're asking is that you're saying that the alliance says,
love you,
"Hey, let's
Elise.
do this event on such and such days," and the other people are like, "No, I don't want to do it on those days." Is that what you're asking?
No, they don't want to let the West have it.
I got this.
Period.
I got this. They have a problem with making deals with the West. They say they're going to contest Red Dragon every day. We say that we're going to only contest it on Wednesdays, or we're gonna not contest it on Sundays, and they get to have it, and we get to have it on Wednesdays. And some guilds like, no, we're going to take it every day, and they go on Sundays. Pretty simple. There's no guild here that can fight Latinus on their own. We literally tell Latinus that, hey, this guild doesn't agree with that. We're not going to come on Sundays. So expect them. Those 4 or 5 dudes show up and they get basically their shit pushed in by Latinus and problem solved.
No, I like Elise's mentality because that's actually a good point. Is what you're saying, like, on Saturdays, even if if creativeness agrees that we can have Wednesday, we leave Saturday alone. Are you saying what if there's people that want to go to Saturday and contest it anyway?
Yes. Like, if they say that is what they would prefer, they don't want to let them have.
I think that's actually a great idea, to be honest. The only thing is, I just ask that give it like a few weeks. Like, if it does go through and he's like, yeah, sure, you guys can have Wednesday because you guys are assholes. Then give it a few weeks so we can learn how to do the fight properly without any issues before we start pissing them off again on Saturday. Is all that I would ask. 'Cause to be honest, I think endgame we do want to take both days. But the Wednesday is just so we can learn to do the fight without them being dicks to us. And then once we learn how to do that fight, you can do it with a few people and then have a huge PvP group just protecting the people doing the boss.
Okay, so
You
one
need
is my
35
old
people
question,
minimum to do it now. They've changed the
and
encounter since the last time we did it.
kind of a new question. Well, off of what you just said, because I don't know if I understood it correctly.
Okay.
One is also the old question is, so if there are members of this group that say, I just don't really like that, are they going to be able to have their voices heard without any heat, salt, drama, whatever anybody wants to call it
Yes, there is now a suggestions tab in the Discord. So if you have any suggestions, all the leaders and officers in the Discord can review that and make a decision without any salt.
Hey guys, my children are calling on Skype. I've got to duck out for this, so keep talking. I'll just get filled in later.
And then, well, this
Sorry,
is
say your
because this is a
question again.
question just for you actually. Did you just say that I don't know, I think I didn't understand it well, but that if a guild wanted to go on Saturday, that you would tell Latinus, like you'd be creative, let's say there's some guilds that don't agree, so they're coming to punch you in the face,
Oh
but
no,
that has.
I would never do that. No.
All right, just checking. I had to check that because I'm like, yo.
No, I think that's a great idea. What you're saying. I would just ask that if everyone, because I want to contest on Saturday too, and giving them Red Dragon, I think it kind of sucks. But I would just ask that if you could, for the best interest of everyone, even though you're edging for PvP and you really want it, just give it a few weeks till we start learning the fight and learning what to do. And then once we know what to do, then if you want to poke them on Saturday, then go for it. That's all that I would ask personally.
I don't really think there will be people wanting to go the Saturday to contest if they already know that most of the faction is going to Wednesday and have agreement with that. In the first time, they will not get enough people to actually contest. It will be only a trolling stuff. So
Sometimes
it
there's
makes
a
no
lot of
sense.
people who are very, if it's red, it's dead, and I don't want anything to do with it. I remember in Zen it was like that. You had a lot of people who say, I don't make deals with reds. If it's red, it's dead, and that's it. So there might be people like that here too, just don't feel really comfortable with. So I just want to know if their voices would be heard as well. That was,
I think we are pretty civilized here. We can't force anyone to do whatever, but we can try to have agreements with the most of people possible and work under that basement.
The last thing I want to see the East do is making deals with the West, doing a little rotation. That's the only thing that I kind of I know what Jan is trying to do, but at the same time, like East is better than that.
I don't know.
I
Like,
mean,
if
it's
you
that
think
or
about it,
nothing.
don't you think that we're kind of screwing them over by giving us the free time to learn the fight instead of just contesting it and never really learning
Yeah,
the fight at all?
I could see that.
I guess we
I
can
mean, if we give them a few weeks and then they think, oh, okay, we can bring less people on Saturday, and they're gonna let us have Saturday, and then we learn how to do the fight, and we start gearing up people with the weapons on Wednesdays. Then we come in and be like, you know what, we're gonna take Saturday too.
But that doesn't stop all of them from stopping us either.
We have to be very
No, it
realistic in
doesn't.
this point, and as you will know, there is a new Red Alliance at this moment, and it's gathering way more people than the previous Red Dragon events. So if we are planning to do something about it, we will need the most people possible, and we are not gonna be able to contest or anything with at least 20 people. So
I mean,
any
like,
options, any opinions, any divergence under that, I don't think there is any future on that.
I mean, like, Jan can ask Creative Desk, like, hey, I want to do the Wednesday Red Dragon without you guys contesting us. But what if they backstab that agreement and be like, oh, you know what, we're not gonna let the East do it? Then how are we gonna go about that?
Well, if that happens, we will do
We
the same
go
to
back
them,
to
and we will
contesting them.
be...
Yeah.
I think
So
it's pretty clear.
I think asking them would be us stepping it down. I think the only reason that they would want us to have a day off is just we kick their ass in, and then they realize that we're gonna contest every single Red Dragon until they give us it free, like Jan says.
Yeah, well, that
Instead
was
of
the
asking.
idea because we had the contestation when we were happening, and we were a big fucking nuisance to them. They hated that, and that's what sort of opened it up. Is if we are going and are contesting and messing with them, they get so annoyed that they just want their boss. So they'll be
Exactly.
like, if you guys leave us alone and give us a day, like we'll leave you alone, sort of thing. If it breaks, we go back to it and we be a fucking pain and piss them off again. Is
I think
basically
we
the
are
idea.
being super optimistic about that. They were pissed off, that's true, but according to that, they formed a new alliance, and we haven't faced that new alliance yet. So don't be very hopeful about that.
Well, it's not something we can do just 1 week and then expect to get it, right? Like, it spawns twice a week, and we did it for 1 day, and then we let them have it for free on Saturday. After we contested Wednesday, it's something that everyone has to be in agreement on. That we have to keep contesting it week after week after week
consistently. Yeah.
We have to be very honest on that point too, and we have to set a minimal amount of people investing on that because it's gonna cost money too.
That has its own issues, though. The Wednesday spawn, for me anyways, and I'm on East Coast, happens before I'm done with work. If they go at it at spawn, it's pretty much impossible for me to get there.
The good thing with Red Dragon, even without being contested, is it still does take quite a while just to bring it down, because you have to harpoon it to the ground.
I mean, they had the Red Dragon on Saturday done in about 45 minutes.
Exactly, that's not contested either.
30 minutes in Luskas, yep.
I mean, this also means that you guys have to also give up Luskas, because that's another thing that the West doing.
We probably have to give up Halcyona too, to be honest. It's just sacrifices that people need to know that they have to make. Luskas, I don't think will be an issue because usually Latinus gets the Luskas before they do the Red Dragon, or like Red Dragon will still be up during Luskas.
They down Red Dragon, then go to Luskas.
That's what's been happening.
Oh, they changed it then, so they changed their strat.
Yeah.
Because on Wednesdays and Saturdays, they'd usually do Luskas Halcy, and then do Red Dragon.
What stops the other red guilds from coming on Wednesdays?
Same thing that stops us. They don't think they can do it. They don't want to
And
go up against
also-
Latinus.
So Iron
Also,
Fist will just be like,
Well, I
yeah,
don't
their Western Alliance, they purple anybody that aren't part of their alliance.
like
so.
incendiary are assholes for the most part, from what I've seen from Azerati's chat logs. Not a very nice person to his faction. Like he'll openly call his faction and raids retards. But Creatus is a lot more mellow-headed. Like he does want a healthy server, which a long time ago when we kept getting hit at GRs every single day, and they were just completely wiping us with raid and a half. Like that's not healthy PvP. That's gonna make people quit. And Creativeness doesn't want that. He wants the server to carry on for a long time. So I know he's a West, and we don't want to work with him. That's why we just want to learn the fight so we know how to do it, and that way we can focus more on contesting and have a smaller number doing the boss. Because it's a long fight, it's not easy, and it's an expensive fight, and that's why they don't want to do it. Each one of those harpoons is like 50 gold to make. You need a lot of them. If you wipe them and they lose those harpoons, you have to make them all over again. It's
User
really
disconnected
expensive.
from your channel.
Not only that, but extending a little bit on that strategy. If the goal was to completely wipe the reds at everything, then that would just be a longer process of West Side getting bored and just giving up and server and everything like that.
Yeah, like look at Halsey when Halsey was when they first did the golem changes. There's like 2 full raids, maybe 3 full raids with West. Now there's like barely 1. That's just how the server works. It's if one side wins too much, the other side just gives up. And that's
No
not
one
healthy.
likes constant disappointment.
Yeah, and
In
that's
order
just
to
not
create the most fun, it has to be a healthy balance.
exactly. And remember Halsey before the golems, there was like 3 East maybe. It was probably mostly it and Elise actually that just did Halsey. And the rest just maybe game for their quest and then peace. It's just that's not healthy server balance, and that's not what we want. We don't want to totally cripple the West to the point where they don't show up to anything. If they don't get anything, they're just gonna quit, and we're gonna have a dead server. It's gonna be Enla 2.0.
On another point, though, the whole working with Reds can end up in an Olo 2.0, and that's not good either.
No, we don't want to work. We don't want to work with Reds. We just want to learn how to do the boss fight. It's more of just like a temporary
I get it.
ceasefire.
I'm just making the point that it can easily get out of hand sometimes.
But like people need to know though that Red Dragon's not a cheap fight. It's a lot of consumables to use for one fight. It's a lot of money for one fight. I know some guilds were actually willing to like put forward their own money to supply other players. I'm not gonna name who, but like they're down for it, which is cool. But like you just have to be aware it's not something that you're gonna go to for like half an hour and be done with it. Like for the first little bit, it could take hours. It could take a whole night maybe.
Where are you set, Maria?
East Side, along with a bunch of other guilds on Olo, contested Red Dragon for 8 hours. We didn't win, but we gave them a hell of a fight and pissed them off. So that was worth.
It's a lot of fun. I love doing it. I love going self healer and going around with the team. It's a fun fight. It gets less fun when you're 3 hours into it, but.
And it wasn't consistently being Nui camped either. It was actually fighting, which was what made it, bearable to be out there for so long.
It's also a lot easier to wipe them early on in the fight when they're doing harpoons. Then they're not underneath the dragon, where they take a lot of damage. Arguably, it's easier to wipe them there too, but when they're harpooning, they're running back and forth between 2 points.
And
and
we
then
also
you're
take
focusing on that
damage
whole
when
bridge.
we're under the dragon as well. So it still is kind of a level playing field.
Yeah.
It's honestly easier to take them down when they're on the ground, not the harpooning. The harpooning, they're in a mass stirred all together. Best you could do is hit off their members from the back, but then they'll turn around and wipe you. So you really accomplish nothing. Better to get them on the ground, their group is split. Get the ones with trauma, keep your group out of trauma, wipe the ones on the dragon and reset it. That's how we got it done.
Yeah, so hopefully, like, people do show up on Wednesday. Like, I'll be there on Wednesday. I don't mind giving up Luskas. 1,500 honor. To be honest, you're gonna get, like, over 1,000 honor, probably, just from doing Red Dragon PvP. Even if you're a healer just songbotting, you're probably gonna get a ton of honor.
Plus, it's not completely giving up less because it's just 2 days a week.
On
So-
that
Exactly.
note, not all healers need a songbot. Doesn't do good for the raids.
No, like
I
we
don't
need to organize
particularly
that
care
stuff.
for Lusk.
I hate Luskus, to be honest.
The last few times I've lost my ship like I think like a total of 5 times, both my clipper and my galleon, and I didn't get anything quest related. So like everybody keeps screaming about getting tags and things like that, and I have no idea what they're on about because I don't get anything. Like, I'm missing out on something crucial here.
What are we gonna do about salt?
Huh?
Or drama?
What do you mean?
What drama?
Let's say if anyone has drama with someone, how are we gonna resolve that in a better way than
Purple
dishing
them?
it out
Kill
in
them?
faction?
Just purple them, man. Kill them. I'm just joking.
Like what we could do is have people in bucket helmets duel in tuna clubs, and whoever wins is the winner. And that's
I'm
it.
down
Where
for
this
that.
is going.
We all know you have weird fetishes, but is this really the way to act them out here?
And
I'm
he
more
calls
into
us a
smack
weeaboo.
Right?
You
we
can
know?
pay the iron price. You
I
play
did
the
you.
Game of Thrones, you win or you die.
I think you're the most weeaboo person out of this, yes.
Okay,
We could do,
I'm about to G
we
quit.
could do a Thunderdome, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
Does anybody else have questions about Red Dragon though before we get goofy?
Wait, so you talked to Creatiness and he's willing or unwilling?
No, he isn't. We only did it one day. He told me that he was pissed and he didn't know why we were doing it. I didn't answer anything, well, like our plans or anything, but he wasn't happy that we did it. I can say that much. They were pretty salty. They
Who
lost
was
one
it?
Red Dragon.
Creativeness.
One thing I do want to know is about the siege, like because obviously we're gonna have to start defending the castles. Do we get any kind of prior notice as to when they're back
Yes,
us?
you will get notices.
I didn't want it to be like oh hey, they're attacking now, but I got 24 hours to wait to join another guild to participate.
Yeah,
Well, the
last
sieges-
time
They have to declare
when we
siege
had
before
the
you can.
when we
Yep.
got the siege scroll, that was when people were told. So it'll work that way too. If we win a siege scroll, it will be announced to everyone, and then people that want to do it would then drop.
And the actual siege battle only happens on a specific day, so we'll have time to prepare.
Okay, cool.
And X-Lock and Sungold fields are being opened for the next 2, I think.
Aren't there new, at least according to the forum posts, about new requirements for getting siege scrolls in the update? Like only the top 20 guilds can bid on a siege scroll, and it's a blind bid.
It's a
You
blind
don't know
bid,
if you
yeah.
bid the highest, the
Yep.
highest amount.
Yep.
Yeah,
You just gotta
'cause-
throw a number out there and hope it's the highest.
Yeah,
Yep.
they don't want people buying like all 4 scrolls again like they have been.
There's also going to be a lot of big improvements to castles, so player factions, voting, and stuff like that.
Any word on when they're actually opening up the new land, or is that like not even heard about?
2.9, 3.0 time. When 2.9 comes out, they won't release everything. They'll release it like they did with a past update. They'll do A and B with castle stuff.
I don't know about Castle Land. I know X-Lock and Sungold are going to open up eventually, but they are introducing more islands. Island Land, if that's what you want to know.
Yep.
It's like
I
south
don't know. I
of
mean, just like
Castaway Strait.
like half of Aurora or even more is still grayed out. So I was just wondering if they were going to open up any more territory.
I do
Well-
know that the little hero meeting place in Sungold will be opened up with 2.9, which is part of the player faction.
Does anybody have any more questions though, like about Red Dragon? Like, is anybody in disagreement with this idea?
Can I get the first sword?
Dibs on the bow.
I don't even know
Sword,
if we.
please.
I don't even know if we've ever talked about loot at all.
We talked about it briefly, like I think it was for like a different raid.
Oh.
I think the aim is to get it down first, even before
Yep.
thinking that we're gonna get it.
With loot, we could do a random roll.
I think it should. This is just my personal opinion that leaders of specific guilds are in that raid would put in their role for their guild and that. So Then you can decide what to do with it. Again, that's just my thought.
To do like a roll / elimination, you get one, you roll on it and you win, then you're taken out of the rolls for the next one until everyone's gotten one.
Or yeah, like Edge said, the officers and leaders can roll from each guild that attended, and whoever gets the best roll goes to that guild, and then the guild can decide who it goes to.
That's not the way I understood it. The way I heard
Yeah.
Edge say it was that everybody in the raid's gonna roll the highest roll, it goes to that guild, and then that guild decides what happens with it.
Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
he said.
that way.
I will say that it is up in the air. We talked about multiple ways of doing loot and didn't actually settle on one. I'm not sure why he was like, this is the loot thing we're doing, because we haven't actually agreed on it yet. So it could change, but for now it's going to be, if you're a participant and you come, you roll, and then the highest roll in that guild gets put forward for who gets it, or something along those lines.
If that's the case, Dark Slash is not allowed to join our anything.
Actually, it would be beneficial for him to be there because he gets ridiculous luck. Because it would go to the highest.
Guild.
No, well, he might.
It
No,
goes
it would
to
go
the
to an
guild who has-
officer.
User in your channel started recording.
Oh, come
Yeah.
on.
To my
also
knowledge,
have
my
Alright.
knowledge, like for the whole loot system, like what I think was universally agreed upon for most people, but it was mostly just talked about. Like it was just like a good idea that came forward, but we haven't come to like grips on anything yet. Was if there's like, let's say, to make it easy, there's 3 guilds that go to Red Dragon. Every single member from those 3 guilds gets a roll, and then let's say a member from Guild A rolls 100 and they win the roll. Then the loot will go to Guild A's officer or guild leader, whatever, and they distribute the loot however they want to.
Alright, that makes sense.
That was just like the best idea that we came up with though, but nothing set in stone.
Right, that's actually what I was kind of getting at, but I like it.
Does that clear it up for everyone? Like how, like, I think that's how he mentioned it, but like I said, nothing set in stone. So if you guys
Yeah,
have
that's where
ideas
it's
of how you want it to be,
there's pros and cons to everything. Like obviously a con of that is if you are a small guild and you bring people, it's highly likely you're going to get eclipsed by the people that bring a ton of people.
It's still RNG
Say
though.
say like IRS, like Eastside, like the smaller guilds.
Like Fear.
I'm sure if it gets to a point, if we do decide that that is the loot system we're doing, I'm sure if in practice we find that it's one guild getting everything, that it would then be changed.
See, that's why I was suggesting that the because usually there's officers or leaders of guilds in those type of raids. So I was saying like the raid leaders and officers themselves should do the rolls, so that way you don't have like 1,500 of one guild rolling versus one person in another guild.
That's why I
Yeah, that
brought
was
the point
another
that the
option
officers
that
could
was
roll.
talked about. Yeah, so the option
But-
was leaders of the guild roll. Everyone has a chance to roll, complete free roll. Like there was multiples, and there hasn't really been a concreted decision just yet.
Yeah.
We might try something.
I try something new every
finds
raid.
We don't like it.
Exactly.
I think
Like it's still.
it's fair for everyone if everyone has a chance to roll.
I think it's
Because
really
if
good if
not-
everyone gets to roll too, because it shows that like everyone participated. Like we're all equal
Yep.
standing. It's not just leaders and
Newland,
officers.
please stop recording. You've had multiple people in here say they're not comfortable with it, so please stop.
I mean, you shouldn't be recording without people's consent. It's actually quite rude.
Okay, so who here doesn't want me recording?
Me.
Don't care.
Who's me?
Me.
I don't care.
Why?
I don't care.
It's a
Why do you
guild
need to be
meeting.
recording?
Newland, it's
I mean,
very
use your
public
common
opinion. No
sense.
one's recorded anything. Just stop recording, please.
Like, please use your common sense.
I am common sensing. Why did no one start recording when this began? What if
Well,
someone
one, if you've
missed
got a
out on the
recording,
meeting?
it can get spread around. Like, there are people here that you can word of mouth explain stuff. If they're not comfortable, please stop recording.
You should always make sure that everybody agrees on it before you start recording it without saying anything.
Okay, whatever then.
I think recording should have been like something decided in the beginning, or like somebody should have been a minute taker. But I do agree we should have had something recorded just so
User in your channel
whenever
stopped
anyone says
recording.
something, it's not going to be 2 days from now. I never said that. because I
Yeah,
guarantee
you can
it's going to be
No, well, that I
talk on
do
both
agree,
sides,
but like
yeah.
you shouldn't just come in and all of a sudden record.
That
And, like
is
halfway
fine.
after is what we're talking about.
Should I stop recording then?
Fucking fear. Anyway, as I was saying, yeah, there's been multiple rules talked about. Nothing's actually been finalized yet. We might end up deciding on one and trying it out. And practice, it could end up being awful, and then we'll switch. So I wouldn't worry so much about what role is going where to begin with. Let's just get bosses down and get organized first. That's probably the first step.
I just want every guild to get loot, to be honest. I don't want it to be like the same guilds winning every single time. I want every single guild to get a chance at something every single time we go.
What I can do is we can recap and I can write it down instead of recording.
God damn it, Fear. God damn it.
So if you guys want to recap on what we've said, I'll write it down in a notepad and then I can send it away.
Anybody else have?
I still don't get why you don't want it recorded.
Well, for starters, you've missed the bulk of the conversation. Like, we're just casually talking about random stuff and theory crafting. Like, this is no longer concrete things.
Second, you did it with no prior notification or
Oh,
asking
I'm
anybody.
sorry. Did you turn your cam on?
Trying to
Is
get
there a
sassy about
problem
it.
with recording your voice?
Mulan, now you're just being argumentative. Please just relax. It's fine.
I am relaxed.
You don't
Okay.
sound relaxed.
So
Actually, you're being
if we want
combative.
to
Probably
take this time
combative
to
with that.
recap now,
I think you're being sensitive.
I think you're being
Pretty
a
sure about the
bitch.
recording. It's done. Holy shit. Let's continue.
Well, she is with the
guys,
bullshit.
Language to
guys,
minimum, please.
okay,
Guys on and on
stop.
about
Wait, what did you say to me? Say that again. I need to turn you up.
Guys, stop.
Yeah,
Holy
I
you
think
guys.
this fits in the question that was asked before about when there is an issue, how does one solve it appropriately so it doesn't turn into like a brawl and then a wet t-shirt contest in the minds of a whole bunch of dudes in here and then
Hey, can
yeah.
we please have wet t-shirt contests? I'm
Well,
all for
Quinn
this.
has said so.
Please.
okay. So what I think we should do is instead of recording, I can write it down and we can recap what happened right now instead of recording everyone.
Are you gonna be like those people on the course that they just
Because
type
some
it
people
down?
have a problem with it, some people don't. So we could just go in the middle and I can write it down right now.
I also have to say that name calling, you know, why would you name call?
Yeah, I do
It's
think we
kinda
should
dumb.
turn the name calling down by 100% because
Yeah,
that's
when
not going to
you're-
get us
Oh,
anywhere.
When you're trying to
I
work with
must
people,
say-
calling them names isn't
Yeah.
going to get you anywhere.
Exactly. So like an eye for an eye, it makes the whole world blind. That's
Did I
my
call
boy
someone
Don.
a
right
name?
there.
So whoever called Mulan a bitch, please apologize. Like right now.
Oh.
Nobody's gonna
Oh.
step up.
Okay, no, there were people wrong on both parties. We had an argument break out.
I think we
it
should both
happened.
apologize.
Just move on. Yeah, either everyone both apologizes or we just move on and let it go and realize it happened. Because we had two people in the wrong. One person apologizing isn't gonna
So
work.
Exactly.
if you want an apology, just wait till
You're
after.
more than ask me afterwards for an apology, but right now I'm just
Right now-
speaking my opinion.
Right now, let's recap
It's a
on
good
what we went
opinion.
over. I can write it down and then I will send it to everyone.
Think
Right.
you're fucking noob.
Yeah, let's just
Pleasure
hold on.
meeting
Everyone,
you.
like, just calm down. Like, hold on, just calm down, calm down.
Okay. So what were the main key things we went over?
Mulan is right. We probably should have recorded at the start, but we don't want to start recording like, 90% of the way in. I don't see anything wrong with recording, but some people are sensitive to about it, and you have to respect their own opinions. Like, this is an
I mean,
alliance.
and not trying to step on toes. I have no problem with being recorded. It's just that I would rather, be told that someone's recording first rather than just.
So we know this for future. In future, if we are recording, we make sure that everyone is aware that they are
Yes.
being recorded.
We will let everyone know.
It's
That's
a good
fine.
idea. Like, we probably should have recorded it. To be honest, it's good that she's the one that actually is the only person out of like 50 or whatever of us in here that actually thought of it. So good on her for that. Just we have to start respecting each other, because if we start fighting against each other, then we're gonna have no chance against the West.
We talked about recording in the beginning. Decided not to do it. That there was more than enough people here to talk about it and relay it. Was what we did. So
That and nobody stepped up to record, so
Well, that's
now
our
that
fault
that's
then.
done, it's done.
Yeah,
Well,
that's our
next
fault
time,
for
if
not.
we want to record, I can record easily.
Yeah, that's our fault for not telling Mulan then. So Mulan, I'm sorry that nobody told you. We agreed not to record.
Did we?
It was mentioned in the start when I said that Jan wasn't going to be here. I was like, it's okay, we got plenty of people. Anyone not here can have
But
word of
Mulan
mouth.
wasn't here, so.
That's okay, but the way that she went about it wasn't correct either.
How did I go
so in
about
the
it?
future, we just need to change it.
It also
Well, just-
didn't help out that 2 people attacked her for it.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now we could just skip over that.
If you're
Since
talking about
Mulan-
me, I didn't attack you for recording, and I didn't attack you at all. I
Okay,
just didn't
okay,
like
moving
you.
on. Stop it. Moving on. Moving
So what
on.
we could do right now is Mulan wasn't here for almost half of it. Neither was Jan. He wasn't here till, I guess, like 1/4 of it was already over.
He fucking slept like a bitch.
So we can recap right now, and I will type everything in a notepad and I'll send it to you guys. How does that sound?
Please.
Okay, artichoke.
No cussing.
Okay. So who wants to go over it all so I can write it down? You all
Brought me a
smell
story
like cheese.
fair.
You're cheese.
I will write it down the best that I can. I'll go over it with Etch later.
I nominate Remya.
Wait, what?
She's got good writing skills.
Run away!
I honestly I would, but I have a terrible memory, so.
So one of the things is we would include the entire East Alliance or faction into Ectheleon.
Everything besides Kraken.
Sorry, what did you guys just say?
User
talking about,
disconnected from your
objectives?
channel.
What did you say, Maria? Can you repeat that?
I was asking
So-
Kingmaker what he was asking.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to write everything down in a notepad instead of recording the whole thing so that both sides would be fine. So everything would be recorded in writing but not recorded in voice. So if someone wants to go over everything that we planned out, I can write it down and then I can send it out to all the guilds.